So Rosie, thank you again, taking time out of your morning. Um, Tell me kind of how when what were your first thoughts when we reached out to you and told you that there was money from your house and stuff like that?
Oh, well, my first thoughts, I'm ashamed to admit, were that it was another debt collector. When you lose your home, you lose a piece of yourself. And I just assumed it was someone else getting in line to take another piece out of my behind.
Yeah,
So I didn't receive the call very um, nicely.
yeah. And that's understandable. It happens. Did you think we were a scam as well?
First,
Yeah,
but after I acted um, not so amazing, you suggested that I look you up on the website and do a little research and then call you back. And I did. And that was, gave me a little minute to regroup myself.
yeah,
And then after we spoke and I educated myself a little bit, I was ready to have a conversation.
yeah,
Um, you guys really are amazing, and you're good with dealing with people, and you're good with dealing with people that are in a stressful situation because they lost their home, and you guys are a cut above.
yeah. What made us different from maybe other folks that were reaching out to you?
You waited out my, I don't know, my reaction long enough to suggest that I look you up and actually educate myself for a minute and then have another conversation.
Yeah.
You allowed me to be an ass, I guess is the word. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It because it totally, like, I don't understand on a personal level. I just understand because I've dealt with so many folks and helped so many folks in similar situations that I understand that it is stressful. I understand that when somebody calls you and they say, "Hey, there's money left over from your house that got sold at auction," people think that it sounds too good to be true. And if there's that saying, right? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And that's one of the most difficult parts about being in this industry and in this business is I have to help people and help them and educate them so that they understand that there is a small percentage of homes that when they go through a foreclosure or tax sale, it sells for more than what's owed to the bank or to the county, and that you have a right to claim those funds. So so yeah, you don't have to apologize. It's all good. It's all good.
Well, your guys' approach is better. It's a cut above everyone else. You guys are good with your approach because the people like me out there that went through a gnarly divorce to lose their dream home in the first place um, are not going to be real receptive of any kind of call, really, because I lost everything I worked my ass off for the past 40 some years.
Yeah.
So, but you guys are patient and you guys were willing to give me that little minute to figure out what was really going on. And because you did, we made a contract and we did the deal, and you did everything you said you were going to do. And you even did it on the timeline you said you were going to do. And you even told me, you even helped me with the other company that was harassing me, trying to do the very same thing you were already doing. You guys really, I can't say it enough. You were a cut above, really, truly.
Yeah.
You were patient. You were professional. You dealt with my work schedule, with all my questions, with every part of it, and you did it proficiently and educatedly enough that I was willing to receive it. And I'm a stubborn person, so you need to give yourself a star or something.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And what was the end result for working with us?
It was exactly what you said. It all played out exactly how you said it would. There was no hitches. There was no problems. It was smooth as butter. You delivered 100% of what you said, exactly what you said, even, which is also amazing. Like,
Yeah.
it was very, very. It turned something that was really hard in my life into something that was smooth and easy.
Yeah.
I wish the previous part of that would have been smooth and easy.
Right.
Like when my house got sold and all that happened, I wasn't even notified. I wasn't aware of any of anything. Like
Yeah.
the court document that you sent me, I never knew of any of that.
Oh, wow.
Nobody contacted me about anything at all, period. My mortgage company gave me, because I was unaware of the situation, period. I was given 30 days to come up with $5,000.
Right.
And so I lost my dream home for $5,000.
Yeah.
And that was that. I couldn't come up with it in 30 days because I had went through a divorce and my credit went poof. And so I lost it, and that was that. And then nobody would contact me or talk to me or speak to me or anything. So I thought it was a dead issue because no one would return my calls, no one would try to help me. And then when you sent me a copy of the document, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And then I saw all the extra things that got added and all this craziness that happened. And I'm like, wow, this is legalized thievery. Like it just hurt severely. And you were the only one that I dealt with through this whole horrible process that actually was truthful and honest the whole time. And you always returned my calls. You always answered my questions. You always put up with my, oh my God. And I appreciated that because, man, I've been through it.
Yeah. Yep. And how much were we able to get you again? Remind me.
16 flat.
Yes, it's about 16,000. Yeah.
And Chase actually even cashed it for me.
Nice.
I drove there that Friday. She said I had to be there by noon.
Yeah.
And since I had 2 other appointments that same day, and it's a 4-hour drive, I left here at 4 a.m. To do my appointments and be there, and it was insane. And she was there, and lo and behold, she's like, "We can even cash this downstairs." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And they did.
Oh, wow.
They were professional. I had my service dog with me the entire time, and they were professional. They did what they said, and even gave me a bag to put it in because I was a little nervous about carrying that around.
Yeah.
And it was nice.
Well, that's good. I actually didn't know that part. I usually we'll send a check in the mail to our clients, or we'll send them a wire, but since you were gonna, yeah.
I wanted her to send it, but I said, no, I'm gonna actually come there for an appointment. So if you could just hold it, I can just pick it up myself. I said, I have horrible luck. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen to me. So I'd rather it not go in the mail. This experience has taught me that don't count on anything ever.
Yeah.
Until you actually see it. So
yes.
I was like, it's all the same to you. If I could pick it up, that'd be great. She's like, well, you got to be here by noon because we leave on Fridays. I'm like, okay, I will. And I kept in contact with her, letting her know that I was still coming and around what time. And she always responded, always.
Yeah.
She didn't leave me hanging at all. I don't know. You guys were the best part of a bad experience.
Yeah.
And I can't say it enough. The other companies were not like you guys. Companies have been trying to get a hold of me about that house for a while, and I wouldn't even talk to them.
Yeah.
So we would have probably never met if I wasn't the person I am, and they would have been more professional.
Yeah.
But they screwed themselves out of the deal because of the way they approached me. So.
And how was it? I mean, I'm always curious to hear about, obviously we have competitors and stuff. What was it about them that kind of turned you off on it?
They weren't. I don't know. I think it's a combination. They weren't patient, for one. And they don't seem to realize they're dealing with people that went through hell. Like, I'm an educated woman, and if you would have met me in a different circumstance, you would have met a different Rosy than you met.
Yeah.
Normally I don't come across all like that.
Right.
But when you lose everything, literally everything, and you leave with a dog and a car you owe on, after working 40-some years, you tend to be a bit hardened.
Right.
And so when someone's calling you about the house that is a big thorn in your side that really hurts your heart, they need to be patient and calm and wait out your panic and your freak out and your questions and your emotions, because you remember our conversation. I'm sure I was very emotional. I was bawling. I was at work. I had to walk outside because I was being so crazy because I was crying, and you can't cry in healthcare. That's not allowed. And so I was outside, out where the parking lot is, where no one would see me, be all not professional, in my scrubs and whatever. And you waited it out with me, and you allowed me to feel every bit of those emotions and pain. And then you actually talked to me and answered my questions. And we were on the phone for a long time. And I know you were busy, I was busy, but you literally put it on hold to kind of walk me through it. And the other companies, they're not that way. They're very abrupt and abrasive, and they don't realize they're dealing with people that have been through so much. Not all of us lost our stuff because we're bad people. Some of us lost our stuff by honest things that happened to us. Some of us, it was no fault of our own. Some of us, it was literally done to us, unbeknownst to us. It wasn't that we were irresponsible and just said, "Oh, I'm not going to pay my mortgage." Ha. Right. Some of us weren't aware until it was too late because of the situation with our ex-spouses and family members. So some of us are not those losers that just don't pay our bills and expect a mortgage company to carry a mortgage that we're not paying. Yeah. Some of us, it's an honest, legitimate thing that really, truly happened that was done to us. And so we're a little bitter about that. Yep. So your approach was hands down everything. That's what sealed the deal. That's what made this happen, because you guys, you're different. You're patient. You realize we're going to be like, we're not all crackheads and lost our house because we're stupid. Some of us, things happen.
I'm really glad you mentioned that, because I would say in my experience, the majority of folks fall into that category where it's like it wasn't their fault. Something just happened in life that caused them to get behind. Whether it was a divorce, the death of a loved one, sickness, the loss of a job, like these are things that we can't control in life. And what I've learned is that, all of us who have a house, like we're like one life change away from being in a similar situation. And so that's what's kind of shown me that like most people are not responsible. Irresponsible. Most people, something just happened that they couldn't control and they got behind, and
it was so big that they couldn't correct it.
Yep, exactly.
I had a mortgage that was $1,000 a month. So you can imagine, by the time I found out, and it was how many months after the fact, because I wasn't in the house at the time, it was already too late.
Yeah.
So,
what would you say, or what would be your advice to anyone who may be in a similar circumstance as yours? Maybe they've received communication from my company or whatever company. What would you tell that person? What advice would you give them to help them navigate this kind of this circumstance?
That it's okay to be real and be raw and be open, because if the company is legitimate, they're going to wait out the conversation and they're going to talk to you once you're breathing. They're going to answer your questions. They're going to prove what they're saying. And it's okay to be upset and cry and feel it, because you're going to feel it, because that loss is a big one and it hurts. Yeah. And a legitimate company is going to be right by your side the whole way, like you guys all were. And you'll know the difference right away. Yeah. A Fact Eddie call is not like a call from y'all. I had what I call several Fast Eddie calls before I talked to you all.
Yeah. We try to be different in the fact we try to educate folks on the process. We try to let them know this is what's going to happen. These are the different options you have. Like, we are a service-based company, and so any service-based company, like, you can choose to do the service on your own. You can go with another company. Like, I understand that people have options. We just want to let people know what their options are, the pros and cons of each. And that's why one thing that, like, you went to the website. Like, I don't know if you watched that video on there that I have, like, where I show people, and we have our testimonials and stuff. And so the biggest thing I would say is just, it's good to, you're absolutely right. Like, a good company will not rush things to get you to sign something. They will instead educate you through the process. So, in my opinion.
There's a big difference. I know I'm repeating it again and again, but there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Um, there was several companies and I didn't give them the time of day. I didn't let them speak.
Yeah.
And you guys waited it out with me and realized, oh man, this woman's upset. And you kept telling me it's okay, it's okay. And eventually I was breathing and we talked. And so it's worth the fee that you guys charge because you're professional and you get it done.
Yeah.
So it's worth it. Yeah, I could have did the research and I could have went and accomplished it and whatever, but I emotionally was not there. I emotionally could not deal with that situation. Yes, I'm an educated woman. I know how to use a computer. But I am, there's so much of my heart tied up into that I couldn't, that was something I could not deal with or accomplish on my own.
Yeah.
So paying the fee is worth it because I needed help with it because I couldn't deal.
Right.
Even the new owners of my home contacted me so rudely and abruptly and tried to have me walk them through my home so they could see what they needed to do to it. And I had just renovated the thing and spent a couple $100,000 doing stuff to it.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to walk them through it so they could see what they needed to destroy. And it was all brand new already. And they got it for a fraction of what it should have sold for. And
Yeah.
if it would really had been appraised and really sold up on the up and up like it should have been, I would have walked away with over $300,000 cash after my house was paid for.
Yeah.
So when you get calls like that from abrasive people that have no heart, no nothing, no soul, you're going to be a little bitter. So by the time y'all contacted me, I was already bent against the universe. And so it was worth the fee. It was worth it because I couldn't do it. It's mentally just blah.
Yeah.
If you're broken, I can fix you. I know CPR, all kinds of crap. I'm great in the medical field, but that one particular thing in my life, I couldn't deal with.
Yeah.
And you guys were professional and patient, and you did deliver exactly what you said. And your approach was different enough that I actually listened, which says something because I can't say it enough. There was several people.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we're just grateful that you gave us the opportunity to do the job for you and get it done for you. And so I want to say thank you to you and thank you for listening to us and giving us a chance. And we're glad that we could get it done for you. So thank you.
You're amazing. You guys are good at what you do. You're professional, and thank you. I would recommend you guys to anyone. I even worked with a girl that was doing the same thing that you guys are doing, and I didn't give it to her.
Yeah.
I could have walked away with more money if I gave it to her, and I trusted you.
Yeah.
Our conversations that we had and the way you presented everything, I trusted you. So I was willing to pay more out because I knew that you were going to get it done.
Yeah.
If that helps at all.
Of course. Anything else you'd like to share with people or anything else you'd like to say before we wrap it up today?
I don't know, basically just do your research, trust your gut. If you're talking to someone and it feels like Fast Eddie's trying to sell you a used car that's not going to run, then hang up the phone. If your gut says, hey, wait a minute, give this person an extra 5 minutes to listen to what they're saying, it might be worth it.
Yeah. Great advice. Great advice. Thanks so much, Rosie. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for everything. I would recommend you guys hands down.
Yeah.